Blackhawks hockey coming your way in high definition tonight, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Take a look at the goaltending matchup for this evening. Corey Crawford picked up the victory against Anaheim when the Hawks were here and around Thanksgiving. They got just one goal out of him in 24 shots. So Crawford and his team hoping to build on that road win here tonight. At the other end, the guy that Coach Bruce Boudreau says is the MVP of the team. Frederik Andersen is 25 years old. This just his 69th NHL game ever, but he has been terrific, as you can tell, for the Anaheim Ducks. Last night, Boudreau wanted to rest Andersen. They played in San Jose, as we mentioned, and Ilya Bryzgalov was so bad in that game he had to come in and play the last 23 minutes. So they were hoping to not have to use him at all. They did have to throw him in for a period plus. Kyle Raymond, and there's Daniel Rourke. The two referees, the linesmen, Mark Wheeler and Jean Morin, and we're underway. Lovejoy for Anaheim, clears it back to center. O'Dulia will throw it right back in there. Cam Fowler for the Ducks. We'll roll it back, and O'Dulia stopped that as well. Oh, a whistle on the play, offside. Johnny O'Dulia paired up with Michael Roosevelt again to start this game. In this deep pairing, Eddie, this is their fourth straight game together. But they've been -3 in the last 3 games as a duo. Well, the Taves line, which was a -2 in LA, Taves, Saad, and Hossa. One for each of the last 2 Kings goals, the game tire and the game winner. Looking to get something going here. It's a quick shot by Saad and a better save by Andersen. No rebound.
Andersen took a quick look over his left shoulder. Ryan Kesler just lost an edge, and Brandon Saad took this puck right to the net here, Pat. And I think Brandon Saad could have taken that puck a little bit farther if he wanted to, and never a bad play to get the puck to the net. But there goes Ryan Kesler, and here comes Brandon Saad. Taking a step, another 2-3 feet, maybe the middle ice. Give yourself a little bit more of a better angle, but a good stop there from Andersen.
Rako could not get away from Richards, and Kane turns. Hjalmarsson looking for somewhere to go with it. We'll give it over to Rundblad. Sharp with a tip and chase. Silverberg pressured by Kane, who tried to keep it in, but the Ducks able to get it back to Chicago territory. Rundblad on it. Fan on a pass attempt, stolen away Silverberg. A lot of Hawk sweaters there to deny any opportunity. And again, Rundblad, who's had 2 goals in his last 3 games, cleared this ahead. Chased down by Lindholm for Anaheim.
Interesting matchup here for Anaheim, Pat. Right off the bat, they played the Kesler line against the Taves, which is not surprising. And instead of playing Getzlaf against the Richards-Kane combination, Bruce Boudreau decides to play the Raquel unit, the 3rd line, against the Blackhawks' so-called 2nd line. Now Getzlaf comes out against the 4th line for Joe Quenneville. He puts out Kruger, Smith, and Nordstrom.
Against Getzlaf, Perry, Maroon. And Patrick Maroon, by the way, has goals in 3 straight games. On this line for Anaheim, loose puck center picked off by the Hawks. Nordstrom coming out. Now Stoner check. Nordstrom steals. He's centered. The pass was just behind Smith, who was trying to drive the goal, but a bad pass cost him a scoring chance.
A good pressure there from Sammy Vatanen, who tried to step up in the middle of the ice, and he came back on Ben Smith. Didn't give him an opportunity to get a quality chance. Good pressure there along those boards from Marcus Kruger. And there you see Nordstrom, good support. Ben Smith going right to the front of the net. And then Kruger comes to the front of the net, gets a little face wash there from Corey Perry.
And out Shaw and Getzlaf for this draw. Andrew Shaw has 3 goals in his last 3 games, including the lead goal in the 3rd period the other night in LA. But as it turned out, a lead the Hawks failed to hold. And Coach Q said it's the 4th time in a month Hawks have had a third period lead and not even gotten a point out of the game. Getzlaf pushed it deep. Now Getzlaf rings it around. Hjalmarsson on this side. Support from Shaw. He got hit hard by Maroon, but played it ahead, and out comes Teuvo Teravainen. In for Bickell. A long wrist shot. Went wide. Funny hop out of the corner. Teravainen, one-hand effort. Deflected just high and wide.
Yeah, that hit the official, Pat. That's why it stopped in a perfect spot for the Hawks.
Keith's long bid here is blocked. The stick broke of Perry. He's out there without a cue. Rundblad takes a look. His long blast. Good block by Smith-Pelly. Hawks keep it in. Bickell goes down low. Shaw. And now off the play, Perry and Keith got together. Perry wound up on the deck, and Duncan Keith is going to have a seat.
Well, a power play coming for the Ducks, but from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator, we're going to go back to that play from Brian Bickell, Pat. He's going to take this shot, and it takes a crazy carom off the boards, off the official, and here comes Teuvo Teravainen. He gets that puck all the way to the weak side. Andrew Shaw's got a backdoor wide open net. Well, more pressing right now matter for the Hawks is Duncan Keith in the box. The Ducks on the power play.
And a power play that's been very good. 7 goals their last 8 games. 7 out of 22 they've converted, and they win the draw. Here's a long slap shot. Not getting to the net. Broken up, and Kruger able to clear it.
That hurt Seabrook. That hurt Seabrook. The shot from Ryan Kesler. And Seabrook's having a difficult time right now, right in front of the Blackhawk bench.
And dragging his left leg a little bit. Let us shake out the bee sting.
It looks like he's trying to look like he wanted to come off the ice, and assistant coach Mike Kitchen kept waving him off.
He's got Oduya ready. Watch the Seabrook's going to go right for the bench, and Oduya jumps on for the PK here. And Seabrook a little problem with his left side, it looks like. Here comes the Anaheim power play. Lindholm to Raquel with a dump in. A big hit on Hjalmarsson from Perry. That puck cleared around the boards. Held in by the Ducks. Here's Lindholm. Put it to the deep slot. Beauchemin goes the other way. Centering attempt. A shot, a save by Crawford as Palmieri tried to tuck it home. And Crawford able to stop the play.
Boy, what a great save there from Corey Crawford off the glove hand. A quick down low play. Palmieri gets this puck all in one motion. Takes it from his forehand to his backhand. Quick little shovel there. Watch the glove. Watch the glove of Crawford right there. If Palmieri's able to get that puck elevated, the Ducks have a 1-0 lead, but a good stop there. Nice execution there from the Ducks with net front presence there with Kesler to the right of Palmieri.
Now Getzlaf, Perry, Maroon step onto the ice. In the back half of this power play, Fowler. This pass picked off Oduya, able to clear. And he told you about the Blackhawks PK. I guess we could say struggles because it's been so spectacular for so long. But not the same story of late. 3 of the last 13 have been converted on him. There's the Ducks dumping in. Funny hop off a partition. Roosevelt able to reach it. And Smith will clear it. And another 4-man unit jumps over the boards for the Hawks. They've been able to change up a couple times on this PK. One of the keys to be able to keep fresh bodies on while you're shorthanded.
Good to see Seabrook back on the ice as well.
Yeah, he jumps right back out there. Now enough to chase Perry. Dropped it Maroon for Perry in the corner. Corey Perry to Ryan Getzlaf. Dropped it back. Now again to Getzlaf. He tried to send him on that pass, blocked by Hossa to Fowler. Vatanen with a long wrist shot. Tipped and never getting past. Hjalmarsson's able to clear. And this time a pretty good PK turned in by the Hawks. Maroon got checked on the boards. Good work there from Kruger. Hawks clear it. That finishes the Anaheim man advantage.
And the best chance was that chance for Palmieri as the Ducks worked the puck down low, attacked, created a quality chance. And other than that, good job, as you mentioned, Pat, by the Blackhawk penalty killer.
That was the lone power play shot that the Ducks managed in that odd man opportunity.
This is probably the coach coming out in me here, Pat, but you see a chance like that, you create a chance like that, you wonder how the players just don't go back to that same opportunity instead of trying to work it out high and make a play like that. And the Blackhawks, certainly that's their strength when they're out high like that.
Chance for Kane. He tried to center it. Richards a shot. Toews! Jonathan Toews picked up a pass from Patrick Kane, who I think surprised everybody by not pulling the trigger. He put it to Toews on a worse angle, but the captain finished it, and it's 1-0.
Well, a couple of things on this play. The retrieval and support by the Blackhawks. They get this puck along the boards. Sharp to Kane. The reception by Toews, Pat, on the backhand to the forehand. And I think what ended up happening is Anderson overcommits because he anticipates the shot coming right away. And when it didn't come right away, I think he was off his ankle just a little bit. And that allowed Jonathan Toews to fire it to the far side. So you think about the momentum, partner. The penalty killers did the job, and then within, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it was, the puck ends up in the back of the net, and the Hawks with a 1-0 lead.
So good news for Jonathan Toews, who's been getting point production of late, but not a lot of lamplighters. That's just his second goal the last 15 Hawks games. So he and the Hawks very happy that he's able to finish that. Here's Vodnin getting in. His wrist shot kicked away. He made a second save. Great chance on Smith-Pelly. And now it's picked up by Rundblad. Here comes Keith. Fires along with it. Anderson steers aside. Now the Ducks. Jackman cleared it into the Hawk zone. Rundblad there. Made a nice pass to Shaw. Then Keith. Put it on the stick of Hossa. Duncan Keith looks ahead to Brandon Saad, but he couldn't hold the feed. Lovejoy. And he'll settle it down for Anaheim. Silverberg rolled it to center. Here comes Raquel. Put it into a speeding Cogliano. He whiffed on the shot, but still kept control of it. And then was forced out of the zone nicely by Hossa. Hossa then stripped Cogliano. But didn't have a lot of momentum going his way, so the Ducks able to get it back. So Fowler for Anaheim leads him up the ice. Raquel gets the Hawks line. Rickard Raquel, who's got 3 goals and 8 points in his last 7 games. Didn't make anything happen this time. Oduya put it to the boards. Nordstrom check, couldn't advance it. Now Kruger has time to take a look. Scooped it into Anaheim territory. Boscheman. And Lindholm rolled it ahead. Maroon dropped it back.
Dangerous play there from Boscheman, but don't forget he's a paid professional, so all you young hockey players, don't try that at all.
Oh, nice save by Anderson on a near redirect by Smith. I don't think he got a piece of it, but that long wrister gave him some difficulty. Now Lindholm runs it ahead of the Ducks. Clear to center. Here comes Getzlaf into the zone. Ryan Getzlaf. Good stick. Kane with a poke check. And back he comes. Patrick Kane gets the line. A shot. Blocked away by Anderson. Richards rolled it in behind. Kane there. Kane centered. Here's Seabrook. And his point-blank chance missed the net. Jalmerson's wrister is blocked. And now the Ducks start back. Ryan Getzlaf had a 4-game point streak before the All-Star break. In the 2 games since coming back from the break, he has no points yet. Perry with a wrister that's blocked. Lovejoy now scoops it back in deep.
That's where you want that line playing, Pat, for the majority of that shift in their own zone. Force them to defend. Getzlaf, Perry, and Maroon.
Now Lovejoy gets help from Fowler. Then Lovejoy hold it out to center ice. Finally, Teravainen dropped it to Rosavall. Pass hit a skate. And Keith backhands it for Bickle. He steps into the zone. A wrist shot sticked away by Anderson. A rebound to Kessler, who bounced it out of there. Now Keith fires a long bank pass. This missed Bickle going to be icing Chicago.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group seats auction. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Raquel and Shaw for the draw. And the face-off to Boschman, winding it around. Silverberg taken away by Bickle. And it's going to be dumped into Anaheim territory. Now the Hawks can make the change they wanted a moment ago. Hossa able to body Lindholm out of the play. Here's a chance for Saad. Back to Rundblad, a long shot, kicked aside by Anderson. Oduya tries that hit escape, and Cogliano got it out of there. Back comes Marian Hossa. He gets the line. Hossa finally got checked. Back come the Ducks. Jackman. And it's stripped away beautifully by Hjalmarsson. And out comes Brandon Saad. Saad looking to the middle. Looking to buy some time. Throws it across. Here's Rundblad, a long shot. That's blocked in front. Thompson. And Nate Thompson will drop it back. Vatanen. And it'll be taken into the Hog zone. Smith Pelly centered one and passed behind Jackman. Pulled into his forehand, and he was stopped by Crawford. Now picked up Hjalmarsson. Fires it in, hoping for Kane, who gets there to save icing. And now it's taken by Nordstrom. Joakim Nordstrom looks in front and hit the skate of Kruger, who had his stick checked as well, and then Anderson covers it up. Well, the Blackhawks have the lead because Jonathan Toews finished off a nice pass from Patrick Kane. That, at the moment, the difference in the game.
Go to WGNTV.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone. Brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Call now for a free estimate for all the right reasons. We love hungry humans down there at ice level. Four Seasons.
And Ryan Getzlaf will go for the draw against Brad Richards, looking to add to his 895 career points. Last 5 games for Richards, no goals, 2 assists. Now it's picked up by Seabrook. Hjalmarsson. And it's cleared back in Anaheim territory. Ryan Getzlaf looks for Corey Perry. He chipped it in. There goes Maroon on Seabrook. Sharp's clearing attempt held in easily by Lovejoy. Threw it in behind. Maroon to Perry, whose pass went off a skate. Lovejoy's long flip shot blocked by Hjalmarsson. Maroon kept it in. Now a centering pass for Perry, but he's well covered by Hjalmarsson that time. Kane picked up the loose change. And Seabrook will get it out of there. Hit hard though by Getzlaf as he did that. So a rough first period for Brent Seabrook, who took a puck off the foot, it looked like, and he got a rough ride there from a big boy, Ryan Getzlaf. Raquel lost it. Here's a chance. And for Hossa with a quick shot. Oh, and a save by Anderson. Rebound Vatanen. I should say Lindholm, sorry. Lindholm cleared it to center ice. And back comes Oduya. Again, Hampus Lindholm for Anaheim. I'll leave it for Francois Beauchemin. Now Kessler's pass picked off by Toews. Ducks, though, get it back, and Palmieri looking to shield it on Roosevelt. That didn't work out so well. He was bumped back to center. They'd finally get it in. Palmieri had a shot blocked by Oduya, who's able to glove it to Bickle. Hawks clear it out of there.
Nice play by Oduya. Mentioned lost his stick and was able to move that puck up and out.
And did it by batting the puck ahead. You know, we saw the other night, we've seen it a couple times this year. If your glove covers that puck up, it's a penalty. You cannot cover it at any time. He properly batted it to a teammate, so play on.
Yeah, no deception. Can't play the shell game partner with your glove there.
Here's a long shot sticked away by Anderson. Now the Ducks Stoner. They're back into Chicago territory. Keith. Some contact in behind. It's cleared up the boards. Kane. Sending Keith out of the zone. He's going to look back to Kane if he can. There's the pass. Kane gets in. Patrick Kane hanging out, but Lovejoy checked him nicely. Now the Ducks send it deep. Now back ahead for Sharp. Out of his reach. Fowler beat him there. And Raquel had his pass picked off. Here's a quick shot. Anderson the save. Rebound back to Richards. Kane down low. Now Sharp takes a look. Spins it back to Roosevelt. Here it comes. A good shot blocked by Silverberg. Picked up by Sharp. His shot missed the net. Held in Oduya. Lines it in deep. Richards there trying to slip it in front. Not connecting with Sharp. However, and the Ducks start back out of a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Raquel gets the line. Silverberg threw it into the corner. Roosevelt there. And the Hawks able to get things settled down. Kruger hit hard by Perry, but able to clear it out of the zone.
He got a glove right in the chin as well after Perry hit him.
Now it's Oduya. His pass is picked off. Getzlaf on the counterattack. A backhand spinorama pass didn't connect. And Noscheman for Getzlaf into the zone. Looking to center it. Here's Maroon. A backhand shot. Good save by Crawford. Rebound Perry. Fires it around the boards. Almost decapitated Maroon, his other winger. It's picked up by Getzlaf. Back to Noscheman. A long shot. Save by Crawford through a Perry screen. Good save and better no rebound from Corey Perry. With a little skirmishing and discussing after the fact.
Well, Blackhawk fans, you want to know about skydiving in Aruba? Get a hold of Michelle Felix. Look at this picture. Well, you want to be tonight's Buddig Lunch Meats featured fan of the game? I guess you got to skydive. No, thank you. Tweet us a family-themed pic with the hashtag HawkFanPhoto, and you might be featured on air or in air. Got it? On air or in air. Buddig Lunch Meats make more than a sandwich. Would you ever do that?
You know what? I actually did it once.
Come on.
When I was young and foolish in college, and I did it once.
Really?
I was glad to get through it in one piece.
Glad to be able to tell me about it.
No kidding.
No, thank you.
Seabrook hit hard by Bolesky. Turnover shot. Good save by Crawford, who came out to challenge Palmieri. Hawks get the loose puck and are able to clear it. But boy, the Ducks have really been physical here in the early stages of the game. That's icing Chicago. Not unusual. In the first two games between these teams, the Hawks have been out hit 68-33 in the first two games by Anaheim.
Well, the Ducks with a little bit of a push here the last 3-4 minutes. There you see the finish hit. Bolesky on Seabrook, who's taken some big hits so far. And then the opportunity for Palmieri, who's had a couple of opportunities around Corey Crawford. That's a good stop. We always talk about momentum, partner, is when you don't have it first, how do you stop it? And then what do you do when you're able to gain some traction? And right now the Ducks seem to have the momentum even though they're down by one.
Ducks credited with 15 hits in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Some big
ones, too. I think that means they're on the pace for 60. Oh, yeah, no, some big. These are not meager bits of contact. Here's Saad walking in with a shot. Blockered away by Anderson. Saad then checked by Bolesky. Ottinen couldn't get it out. And it's cleared in behind. Brandon Saad, who's got 5 goals in 7 games. Hangs on here, wide up the middle, shooting. Big save, Anderson. Rebound to the corner. Saad wins the puck battle there. Oh, and his pass just missed Keith.
Second A-plus chance for Brandon Saad. You talk about patience. Beautiful job there for Saad.
Now Sammy Vatanen rings it around. Stoner cleared it up the boards. Silverberg kicks to the stick, rolled it loose. Raquel looking to drive the net. Couldn't find control of the puck. Now Oduya. Bickle didn't get that one out. Oduya, though, following up. And a good tie-up of a stick by Hossa to capture a loose biscuit. Hawks will dump it in, completing a change. 3 minutes to go in the first period. Jonathan Toews has the only goal of the game so far. Chance here for Teravainen. Didn't get a lot on the shot. It didn't seem to get all the way to the net. And the Duck Stoner comes back.
I think he was feeling a little bit of pressure there in that high slot area. A quick developing play. Shaw with a real nice pass. I mean, just a beautiful pass. Something to keep an eye on here, Pat. A couple of crazy caroms in behind both goaltenders. When you shoot the puck in, offensively, you just never know. And then defensively, you got to make sure that you're helping your goaltender out. So far, there's been 8 scoring chances for the Blackhawks, 5 for the Ducks. And still 2:42 left to go here in the first.
Clayton Stoner looking to clear it. That's kicked back in offside, so the whistle goes. We're talking about a lot of the contact in this game, which we'll finish about that comment in just a second. 2.5 left in the first for the Hawks, up 1. Welcome back to Anaheim, where we are thrilled to be able to bring you this picture. Look at that, the Silver Jet, Dennis Hull, who is the 5th all-time goal scorer in the history of the Blackhawks. He's there with his lovely wife, Janet. And last summer was a very difficult one for the Silver Jet. He had Whipple surgery involving cancer, and that is the second most difficult surgery to undergo other than heart surgery. So at one point he was down 40 pounds, and then he lost. He's found a lot of it back. But I'm so happy to pass along that I had a chance to talk with Dennis today, and Mr. Dennis, as we call him, and a wonderful guy who has made a great recovery. It's a wonderful story, and in fact, he's even still going through chemotherapy, and even with that, playing 54 holes of golf a day. God bless him. But you're well aware of this, Eddie. There is no more dynamic or more funny after dinner speaker than Dennis Hull. He's unbelievable.
On tour, and he's a terrific ambassador for the game and representing the Blackhawks organization, and good to see Dennis out here tonight. And got a nice, I can see that 54 holes is coming in handy. You got a nice little glow there going.
Yes, he does. Well, and kudos to his wife, Janet. She's going to get Nurse of the Year accreditation for a wonderful job she did helping him out. He's the first to tell you that. All right, the Hawks able to get this in. 2 minutes to go in the first. Chicago up a goal. And out comes Fowler. Pass deflecting at center. Carried on Maroon. Looking for Getzlaf in the corner. Put it in behind. Maroon with Perry to the front of the net. Patrick Maroon dropped it back. Lovejoy wasn't sure how he could keep that in, so it didn't happen. And now the Ducks clear it back in. Seabrook, who has 3 assists in his last 4 games, clears this over the stick of Lindholm to center. Boschem in there. And Oduya chasing back. Pass didn't connect with Nordstrom. Going to be icing Chicago.
Hey, Pat, I got a quick shout out. Want to send our thoughts and prayers and best wishes to the Nora family out there in Long Grove, Illinois. We're thinking about them, and they're huge Blackhawk fans. I know Vince is a huge Blackhawk fan, but we're thinking about the Nora family right now, and I'm sure they're up watching and hoping for a Blackhawk victory.
Face-off win there from Shaw. Seabrook fires it off the glass to center. Final minute now of the first period as that puck goes out of play. I started to say, it's been a physical period as far as the Ducks are concerned, and you know, they usually, almost every team that plays the Hawks out-hits them, because when the Hawks are a puck possession team, you can't hit people when you got the puck. But the Anaheim team, not only they're good, they're big and they can be mean. They've got 4 guys who have 100 hits or more coming into the game. Blackhawks have 1. Brian Bickle's at 118, but so Anaheim very deep and very snarly when you play against them.
Yeah, I think the one thing too, Pat, is if you're going to go ahead and play that way against them, A, they don't like it, and B, I think the discipline aspect is that you can get them to take some penalties because of the lack of discipline. But this team will be evaluated, and there's no doubt. I mean, this is Stanley Cup or bust for the Anaheim Ducks with the money that's been sent and the moves that have been made and the philosophy change from getting some bigger guys in this lineup compared to last year and losing to the LA Kings in 7 games. But you can play any way you want. There's no doubt about that.
Pitching, Vatanen looks to center. Good read by Taves. He picked it off, and out comes Hossa. 20 left. Hossa going rink wide, never got to Saad. That's going to be offside. Chicago. Well, I got a couple of get-well shout-outs also, partner. A Glenview Stars hockey player, Glenn Elliott, suffered a tough injury recently. We hope he's feeling better. My good friend John Weaver at Hawk Ford is in the hospital, and hoping that he's on the right track. And our good friend, the legendary Dr. Rock, is tuned into the game tonight. He's undergoing some treatment as well, so I think that's for hygiene, but we hope the good doctor is feeling a little bit better today.
Well, I'm sure if he hit the late double at Gulfstream, he's probably feeling really good tonight. So all the best, Doc.
All right, now Shaw going to run out of time as the first period comes to an end. 13 shots for the Chicago Blackhawks in the opening 20 minutes. The Anaheim Ducks had 7, and they were stuck on 7 for quite a while near the end of the frame. The only goal coming from the Blackhawks captain, Jonathan Taves, set up by Patrick Kane to snipe his 15th of the year. And that's the difference in the game right there. California, where the Blackhawks will take a single goal lead into period 2. And the second period is half minute away. It's going to be brought to you by MB Financial Bank. MB means business. Well, the Ducks, as we mentioned, lost last night in a one-sided affair in San Jose. You get beat 6-3, and the score wasn't that close, or the game wasn't that close. So they come in here with a little bit of an ornery attitude, as do the Blackhawks, who we told you a couple of times had a lead in the third period, late in the third period of that game, and did not get a point in LA 2 nights ago. So the Hawks tonight get the Ducks in a back-to-back scenario, and the tables get turned tomorrow. San Jose is waiting for the Blackhawks, so they'll be the rested team tomorrow when the Hawks head to Northern California to play the Sharks. The types of things teams have to deal with all season long, all around the NHL. Bruce Boudreau, by the way, was telling me before the game that the Ducks don't play until Wednesday, and starting with that game, they play 28 games in 54 days. So it'll be quite a grind of a closing stretch for the Anaheim team, which entering play tonight has the best record in the entire league. They got 70 points. Blackhawks come in at 62 points. Both teams looking to add to those numbers this evening.
They got a little ice issue right now. There's a little bit too much water on the ice down to the Blackhawks defensive zone. So now the official is looking probably for.
Hey, the squeegees are coming out. All right.
I was going to say a pattern of a couple of guys I used to play with in the National Hockey League. Their sticks look like the squeegee that the off-ice maintenance man is going to be using to clear the water, and not only dangerous with players skating over it, but also the puck as well, stopping. And these are normal happenings that go on at the West Meadows Ice Arena out there in Rolling Meadows, or out there at the Southwest Ice Arena out in Crestwood.
Well, let's take a look at how the standings shape up. The Blackhawks, these are updated now. Nashville is winning their game, and St. Louis won earlier tonight in a shootout. So with that victory, the Blues are now 4 points ahead of the Hawks. And Nashville is losing in their game tonight. But one of the keys here, Eddie, I mean, the Blackhawks at 62, the hot Winnipeg Jets not far off their heels, just 2 points behind. And if you can't stay ahead of them, now you get involved in that wild card scenario, and nobody wants to have to deal with that if they can avoid it.
Yeah, we got a quick birthday shout out, Pat. Happy 7th birthday to Jackson Nesheim, a young hockey player, plays for the Bensenville Blues. Plays out at the Edge out in Bensenville, also the home of the Chicago Steel. Loves playing for the Blues as much as he does watching his favorite team, the Blackhawks. So happy birthday, Jackson.
Eddie, we were talking about a little bit about the contact in this game. The Anaheim Ducks credited with 20 hits in the first period. And the Hawks had 7 to their credit, but we talked about this as it's a good team, it's a big team, and there's times when it can be a mean team, and particularly with their top guns. I mean, you know, it's the main guys they look to for offense, who can play with as much of a snarl as anybody in the league.
Yeah, they're not only looking to take 2 points from you, but they're looking to take other things from you. I mean, they're not afraid to try to run you in the 3rd or 4th row. And very, very difficult team to play against. And now it looks like we finally have this ice issue behind us, and we get ready to start the 2nd period.
As the Hawks get it in. Lovejoy checked by Taves, who rolled it loose to Hossa. He'll drop it out to Roosevelt. Hossa sends it back into the corner. Now Valesky couldn't get it beyond Roosevelt. In deep is Saad. Back to O'Doyle with a long one-timer, not getting to the net. Valesky got it out of there. Hossa rolled it right back in, but Taves dropped it now to Hossa with a long shot. That tip just wide. And the rebound to Fowler.
Almost went off of Fowler right in behind Anderson.
This puck deflecting into the Ducks bench.
Good start, real good start. All with the #1 line of Taves, Hossa, and Saad. Quick transition, stayed onside, entered the zone, and Hossa with a good chance. The way that first period ended, partner, Blackhawks certainly want to come out with a good start here in the 2nd, because as that period went on, the Ducks seemed to find some confidence and traction.
Getzlaf gave Kruger a whack after he won the draw.
He's been a target tonight. He's been
Kruger has.
Yeah, he sure has. Took the cross check there, as you mentioned. He took a shot right in the chin from Perry after a big hit in the first period. Kruger better keep his head up out there against these guys.
Smith gets the puck. His stick, though, checked. Good play by Getzlaf, and Maroon sends it back in. Hjalmarsson around the boards. Picked up by Kruger, who got checked at center. And back comes Patrick Maroon. Ryan Getzlaf spins it around. Perry's on the other side. Looking towards Maroon, but Seabrook able to get in his way. Down goes Seabrook. Penalty Maroon. Hawks are going to get the power play as Crawford gets off for the 6th attacker. Oh, the Hawks wait for everything to get organized, and Hjalmarsson leads them out. Looking towards Kane, but the pass missed. And the whistle will go.
Well, Brent Seabrook draws the penalty in behind. There's Patrick Maroon. It actually looked like his stick blade, Pat, there got caught inside the holder of the left skate, in between the blade and the boot of the skate of Brent Seabrook. The Hawks get a opportunity, the man advantage.
First power play chance tonight for Chicago. The Hawks have scored a goal in 4 straight games on the power play. They're 4 of the last 14. The other night in LA, I thought one of the keys to the game was the Hawks scored on the first power play, but they had a couple opportunities later in the game, particularly with a 1-goal deficit, and power play not able to get a whole lot done at that time. Let's see what they do with their first chance tonight.
They had, I mean, they pretty much had 3 in the first period, right, Pat, the other night?
Yeah.
I mean, they had 3 in a row. They weren't able to capitalize.
Kessler, after a steal, able to clear. Incredibly, at least it seems to me, it's incredible that a team with the best record in the league, both of their special teams are in the bottom half
Yeah, great point.
of the NHL.
And that speaks to the goaltender, I think, for sure. And you know, they're stars, and considering all the sickness and illness that this team has had, to see where they are is pretty incredible, with a 12-point bulge in the conference they're in, or the division.
Trying to shield that away from Cogliano. Crawford wanted to play the puck, and it seemed to take forever to get out of the restricted area. So then he just put his butt in the way of Cogliano. Back comes Shaw to the other end. He lost it. Hawks will have to chase back.
Maybe that water had something to do with it, Pat, where Crawford was waiting for it, and next thing you know, he's in no man's land, and that backside of those hockey pants right in the way of Cogliano.
Saad gets in. His drop pass captured by Hossa. Brandon Saad brings it around. Richards on this side. Now Bickle got checked. In behind, a pass missing Hossa. The Hawks will have to reorganize. Half a minute for the Chicago power play. Seabrook leading the final rush. A centering pass jumped away from Hossa. Well, this initial Hawks man advantage tonight gets nothing done. Bickle unable to drive to the net that time. Centered one. Saad dropped it. Seabrook to Hossa. The Anaheim penalty over. Here's Saad walking in. Shoots one. That's blocked in front. And both teams are now at full strength.
Another good look for Brandon Saad. He had 2 8-plus chances in the first period. And there with a good chance there, just never was able to get it through, but the puck is finding number 20 in the offensive zone for the visitors.
Well, Clayton Stoner dropped it, and Vatanen cleared it to center ice. Dumped in by Maroon. Funny hop off the partition. He's slow to get up. The puck just happened to hit him. Kessler and Crawford got together. As a terrible hop off a partition. Crawford had gone behind the net to play it. And then as he dove to clear it away from the charging Kessler, a lot of contact there, and Crawford a little slow to get up.
Well, we made mention of it, Pat. The crazy caroms along this glass. Kessler's going right to the front of the net again. I mean, Corey Crawford, any goaltender out there, all you young goaltenders out there, if that puck is shot in around the glass, stay home, because this is what can happen. And Crawford just chips that puck out. I mean, no ill intent at all by Ryan Kessler. He's going for that puck. He goes right up and over after the collision of Corey Crawford, and then the Ducks had a great chance. I'm not sure if it was Crawford or Hjalmarsson, Pat, that made that save in the blue paint. Just what a sequence there. And again, if it's around the board, you want to help out your defenseman, go ahead. But this glass is very unpredictable. So stay home if it's in the glass.
A shot attempt right from the draw by Getzlaf. It just missed.
Oh, what a play there.
Smith Pelly for Anaheim. Left it for Corey Perry. Trying to center one. Getzlaf whiffed on a backhander. And the Hawks able to get out. Nordstrom ahead for Kruger. We'll drop it back. Ben Smith Beaten to it by Lindholm. Now Getzlaf for Smith Pelly. In a 1-0 Anaheim win, he had the only goal of the game, Smith Pelly. It was a shorty. The only goal of the night in the first meeting of the year in Chicago. Seabrook fakes, then shoots, but it was tipped wide. Kruger works Boscheman. Now in behind. Picked up by the Ducks. And Maroon able to get to center ice. Here's Brent Seabrook. Long pass, bouncing around, and he loses Teravainen. Maroon the other way. Here comes Nate Thompson. In on Duncan. Keith dropped it back. Lovejoy, run on, and a save by Crawford. Penalty Anaheim. Crawford was hit after the puck was stopped by Corey Crawford, and Jackman, I believe, who made contact. Goalie interference on Anaheim. Then the Hawks will head back to the power play. So an active start to the second period for Corey Crawford. A couple of jolts have not deterred him. And the Hawks with a 1-goal lead.
Well, fans, don't forget to check out the Blackhawks blog at WJMTV.com. The blog is brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent, serving the area for 36 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Blackhawks with their second power play here of period 2. Hoping to be able to get something set up at least on this man advantage. They spent not a lot of time in the offensive zone their first chance. Taves, Kane, Shaw in front of Sharp and Keith to open it up, and Taves wins the draw. Keith fired a long shot. It hit a leg to Kessler, and they'll have to chase back.
Yeah, that was Thompson who lost that faceoff and then got in that shooting lane.
Sharp being hounded by Nate Thompson. Now the Hawks able to get control. And Sharp cranks it around the boards. Here's Kane dropping it to Sharp. Kane's pass picked off by Kessler, and again the Hawks will have to retreat. Patrick Kane starts out. Could only get as far as center. So 3 minutes of power play time so far in the period for the Hawks, and not much good has happened. Here's a centering pass after a Anaheim steal, but Silverberg unable to complete the feed. Now it's Keith. And they're able to get out. Sharp in for, but the pass was at the feet of a speeding Hossa, so that entry got gummed up. 40 for the man advantage. Seabrook comes away. Saad into the zone, peels off. Brandon Saad as Bickle gets to the front of the net. Saad hacked it around the boards, picked off by Lindholm. Richards on one final man advantage rush. Hossa gets the line. Hossa gonna drop it back to Richards. His long shot never got through. And Hossa's pass deflecting. Ducks clear. Penalty expires. And both teams are at full strength. The two Blackhawks power plays, if anything has happened on those two man advantages, it's Anaheim who got a little wind in their sails. Here comes Nordstrom into the zone. Kruger, boy, he looked back at a wide open Oduya and tried a backhand shot instead. Now Kruger for Smith, a backhand shot. Good save by Anderson. Rebound taken by Palmieri. Sharp gets it back. And Chalmers waiting for a change to be completed. Sharp dumped it. Taves chased it. Got together with Stoner. Puck squirts loose to Sharp. Back to Keith. Looking to Sharp, a one-timer. Kicked away Anderson. Rebound back to Sharp on the boards. He'll leave for Keith. Walks in. Here it comes. He scores! Duncan Keith will get his 400th NHL point. There's a little bit of contact involving Anderson. He complained momentarily, but that looks like a good goal. And the Blackhawks with a 2-goal lead. Now referee Kyle Raymond is now huddling with all the officials. He indicated good goal. He pointed to the net as if this should be a goal that counts, but they've all huddled up now.
Couple of things to watch here, Pat. First off, the great play here by Patrick Sharp. And then there you see the interference with Jonathan Toews. Clayton Stoner was bumping with Jonathan Toews. And the official is saying that he was pushed in, and now Bruce Boudreau is getting an explanation. But Duncan Keith did a great job there of continuing to walk in. He didn't stay out at the blue line. Instead of taking a 55-footer, he made it about a 20-footer. And he came right in and let it go. Watch this. He takes, look at it. He knows how much time, and the only way he's able to do that is because his head is up. I mean, that's just a heck of a job there by Duncan Keith of recognizing, but I can't emphasize enough the play by Patrick Sharp right on those boards. Beautiful pass. Keith walks, he walks, he walks. Toews is there. Interferes with the goaltender because of the push from Stoner. And the Blackhawks with a 2-0 lead.
And Duncan Keith's 400th NHL point comes in his 734th game. And a big play. After the Blackhawks power play, it really let him down twice in a row. Keith comes through with a huge conversion, and the lead has doubled. And Seabrook hit hard here by Maroon as he dumped it back the other way, icing Chicago. Well, I don't know if Brent Seabrook's been unlucky or has a bullseye in his back tonight, but been lots of contact involving number 7 for Chicago.
And he's been on the ice. So a little bit of a leg whip there too from Maroon.
Slewfoot.
Oh, that was a dangerous play there. But I was going to say, Pat, is when you're playing against Getzlaf and Perry and Maroon, you're out there a lot. Those guys are looking to finish checks every time. And so far, so good for Brent Seabrook.
Now in behind Cogliano, taken away by Seabrook. Bouncing puck hacked back to center ice and Beauchemin. Now Lindholm, his pass missed, going to be icing Anaheim halfway through period 2.
Well, this is what Brent Seabrook was so angry about, Pat. Patrick Maroon comes in, hits him a little bit late, but watch the right leg. Watch the right leg cut up and under Brent Seabrook. He goes to finish the hit, and there you see a little bit of a leg whip and knocks out the legs or the back of the knees of Brent Seabrook. And I think that's exactly what Seabrook was barking at the official. Now Brent Seabrook's heading he's heading into the runway there, Pat. It looks like Jimmy Heinzelman, the terrific assistant equipment manager for the Blackhawks, is following Seabrook in. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But that was a dangerous play by Patrick Maroon, because you have no chance there really to protect yourself. All you're expecting, Pat, is to get hit up high, and all of a sudden you get leg whipped. I mean, you're falling right back on your back or on your tailbone, and that's a dangerous play.
Rundblad. And the Hawks get it in. Beauchemin around for Kessler.
Shaw had a chance there to take a piece of Beauchemin there, and I know he's at the end of a long shift, but those are the type of plays that take its toll. Maybe not necessarily right now, but as this game goes on, and the Blackhawks gaining some momentum and traction after scoring the second goal of the game. And what a great play by Sharp to Duncan Keith.
Eddie, we've played 11 minutes in this period. Now 4 of them have been Hawks power play minutes. But Anaheim has 1 shot so far in this middle session. Richards wins the draw. O'Duya's shot, though, blocked. And it's cleared back to center ice. Oduya dumped it. Now it's dropped back by Sharp to Oduya. He waits. Lane closed. Roosevelt taking a look, trying to go rink wide. The pass tipped away from Sharp. He then got it back. Patrick Sharp's wrist shot tip. Good save, Anderson. Rebound. That was a neat redirect by Richards, and Anderson made a better stop. Now Kane's in behind to Richards. Brad Richards had his pass deflect. Kessler came up with it. Now Getzlaf Richter going wide to Fowler.
That's some tired defensemen on the ice right now.
Perry to Getzlaf. Back Fowler tipped it loose. Maroon, or Smith-Pelly should say, lost it. Here's Perry right to the middle. Here's Fowler. Big save by Crawford. Rebound, Lovejoy picked off by Saad. Hawks a chance to counter, but Saad's pass missed Taves, where they would have had a 3-on-2. Now it's 3-on-2 the other way. If they could get control of it, Getzlaf ran out of time. Perry's pass deflecting to Hossa.
Got to get Roosevelt and Oduya off the ice. They're absolutely out of gas right now.
Well, the Hawks are not able to get the puck in. Now the Ducks put it back in their own end, so the wholesale change is completed. Fowler. Smith-Pelly tapped it deep. And it wound up on top of the glass, then out of play. 7.5 to go in the second period. Corey Crawford has faced only 10 shots, but several of them have been dandies, including this save right here, point blank on Fowler. And the Ducks still scoreless.
And as my great Hall of Fame partner just mentioned, Duncan Keith joins the 400 club, and he's in some esteemed presence of Blackhawk defensemen, most points in Blackhawks history. Congratulations to Duncan Keith, and one of those names on the board is in the building tonight, the general manager, the former general manager and player of the Blackhawks, Bob Murray. That was just a heck of a play, Pat. I can't emphasize enough the play by Sharp, and then Duncan Keith recognizing, instead of taking a shot from 55 or 60 feet out, he cut it right in half. And yeah, there was some interference, but it was just a heads up play because he knew exactly what he was going to do when he got the puck.
And you know, you talk about it all the time, because it's rare that there is available ice in front of you in the offensive zone like that. So he saw it, he used it, and he doubled the Hawks lead as a result. Here's Maroon for Anaheim. His pass picked off. Nordstrom comes out. Kruger. Long flipper easily gloved by Anderson, who plays it ahead, trying to catch the Hawks in a change. He might. Maroon driving, shooting, save, Crawford. No, rebound. Good work by Frederik Andersen. He saw the Hawks going for a change, and after he made an easy save, looked ahead to try to spring Maroon and nearly did.
Well, Marcus Kruger here, Pat, I mean, he shoots this puck right at Frederik Andersen, and Andersen doesn't freeze it. And now the Hawks are trying to make a change, and then here comes Maroon down those left wing boards. Good save from Crawford. No second chance opportunity. That's one of those plays where you have to be heads up. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and give it to the goaltender, you better make sure he's not able to move it right by you, and that's something where Marcus Kruger's got to understand. Just tip it into the corner. You got to know you have the long change here. In the second period, your bench is the farthest away from your defensive zone.
Off a draw, face-off, and Taves furious with the linesman. Not happy with the Mark Wheeler, who dropped that puck. He went palms up right after Corey Crawford caught it. Taves a feeling apparently that it wasn't quite ready, but Crawford able to make the stop. So now Raquel and Taves again.
That was only the third loss of the period, Pat, for the Blackhawks in the faceoff dot. Won 8 of 11 up until that point. Now 9 of 12.
Here comes Saad driving. He shoots. Save, Anderson. Rebound taken by Silverberg. He cleared it to center, and Lindholm unable to advance it. Now the Hawks Oduya will circle back. Oduya brings it around. Funny hop again. Boy, these partitions here are dangerous. And as Eddie pointed out earlier in the game, especially when you watch Anderson, anything up on the glass, he's staying home. I mean, you just seem like you have to in this ring.
That's where you want to shoot the puck in. Make it really difficult for the goaltender.
Teravainen's pass deflecting. Silverberg got it out of there. Now Keith. Roosevelt will dump it. Palmieri unable to pick it up. Teravainen got it to Bickle. In behind Shaw. Puck is kicked back to center ice with 5 minutes remaining in period 2. And the Ducks now with a baker's dozen of shots so far in the game. 35 minutes in, they got 13. Palmieri dumped it. Into the corner, Valesky jammed the loose, picked off Bickle.
Big hit Roosevelt on Kessler. He didn't like that at all.
And he was slow to get up, Kessler.
Keep an eye on him in his next shift.
Now Getzlaf, his pass picked off Sharp. Steps into the zone, left it for Kane, walks in, shooting. It's good! Patrick Kane, what a shot! That was a snap wrister that he just flew by Frederik Andersen. Sharp will get his second assist of the game. Kane his second point. 3-0.
Well, a turnover by Ryan Getzlaf in the middle of the ice. And from our Honda goal replay, Patrick Sharp sets a little pick. And then Patrick Kane goes top shelf on Frederik Andersen. Short side high, no chance for the Duck goaltender, and the Hawks with a commanding 3-0 lead.
Chicago goal scorer number 88, Patrick Kane. His 24th goal.
So Kane has 4 goals in his last 7 games.
And at number 91, Brad Richards.
Excuse me, 4 goals in his last 5 games. And here come the Ducks. Vatanen put it in behind. Smith Pelly left it there. Getzlaf to Vatanen. His pass deflected just wide. Perry took a whack at the feed. Corey Perry trying to muscle his way in front. Seabrook said no. The puck, the net came up off the ice, so the puck went in behind, from behind. That doesn't count. 4 minutes remaining in the second. 3-0 Chicago.
Hopefully get back on the ice sooner than later.
Let me make sure I correct something I said. I don't want to short the guy, Patrick Sharp. I said it was his second assist, his third. He's figured in all 3 Blackhawks goals coming off a night in LA where he had a goal and an assist. So a wonderful start to the unofficial second half for the sharpshooter. 5 points in 5 periods of play.
Yeah, lots of
so
smiles
far.
going. Lots of smiles going on right
That's
now.
the way it usually happens, doesn't
absolutely. it? Still got a lot of hockey to be played in this game.
Smith Pelly won the corner battle, dropped it back. Lindholm put it across, long shot, blocked Hjalmarsson. And Nick Hjalmarsson able to clear it to center ice. Hossa steps into the zone, going across. Here's Saad, the pass deflected. And Kessler chipped it out of there. Or I should say Getzlaf did. Now Seabrook. Saad in for Taves. Looking for Hossa. Unable to get rid of a one-timer. Taves out of the corner. Oduya's one-timer. Tip, good save by Andersen on a redirect. Saad got a piece of that initial long shot. Maroon the other way. Look at the back check from Hossa. And nothing happened for Patrick Maroon because of 81 in white. 3 minutes to go in the second. Here's Fowler. Gaining the line to Maroon. He lets it go well high and wide. Now taken by Roosevelt.
Recovery there from Oduya.
Not able to send it back in Anaheim territory to be played by Nate Thompson. Stripped of it by Richards to Kane. Kane hanging on, walking up the middle, around the check, cuts in. Oh, his stick tied up as he was ready to shoot. Good work by Thompson. Eventually, took him a while to Tie up Kane's stick. Now a sharp takeaway. He's going to draw a penalty as Fowler hooked him. Rebound coming in front. Keith now put it to Sharp. The shot up high off the glass. Taken by Keith. 6 attackers now as Crawford gets off. Here's Kane. Into the corner. Sharp. Taves. Sharp. Centered in. Oh, and Richards didn't see the pass until it got to him. I believe he was screened on a goal mouth feed that could have been a tap in had he caught it cleanly. And I'm not sure he had a good look at it.
Well, what a great effort by Patrick Sharp to take away the puck from Tim Jackman, get it in behind Fowler, draw the penalty, and the Hawks with a couple of good looks. You got a great opportunity here at the end of the second period, up by 3, man advantage. This is where you really want to take out any belief for the Anaheim Ducks. You can find a way to make this a 4-0 game before you get to the second period.
The Ducks get the draw. Then a good keep by Keith. Kane into the corner. Taves looks back to Kane. Taves toward the net, dropped it back to Sharp. Looking for a lane. Instead he feeds Keith. Sharp slipped it in front. Oh, it just jumped over Kane's blade. Now again Taves with Shaw to the front of the net. Oh, the give and go. Didn't connect on the second time. Here's Keith. Into the final minute now of the second period. As Crawford at the last second. Not sure he saw that with Bickle sort of in his way. That puck hit the netting. I thought it did. It took an extra moment for everybody to recognize that, but referee Raymond saw it go up off the netting, but Crawford needed a very last second kick of the right leg to keep that puck, long shot, the 100-footer from going to the net.
I think it went off of Bickle here, Pat, and then changed direction. Yeah, went off the inside of his left foot there. He was flamingoing, and all of a sudden it went back to the other side and went right off the top of the right pad as he put his pad down and made the save. That's why you don't flamingo. Usually it'll hit you. When you do that, it usually hits you.
Hawks trying to keep it in. Here's Hossa. The puck just escaped him with half a minute left. Lindholm couldn't get it past Seabrook. Good keep. Now Richards moves in. Shoots one. That's tipped up high off the glass. Here's Hossa. Then picked up by Richards. Back to Hossa. He'll look to Seabrook. Marian Hossa, the clock winding down. He'll run out of time as the second period comes to an end. The Anaheim Ducks got 7 shots in the period. The Blackhawks got 15. Hawks have had 27. The Ducks have had 14. Goals in the frame from Duncan Keith. His 7th. Patrick Kane, his 24th. And the Blackhawks up by a field goal. Okay, thanks very much, Rich. We welcome you back to California, where the Hawks will take a 3-0 lead into period 3. So Coach Q and his staff. So we'll get ready for an attempt to hang on to what's happened so far in the season series, which is the road team has won each of the first 2 games, and Hawks trying to extend that here tonight. And just as was the case the other night in LA, this regrettably the final meeting of the year between these 2 terrific hockey teams. You wish you could see a little bit more of these guys. Well, I mean, we as fans do. I'm not sure coaches and players would be that thrilled to play so much great competition, but
unless you're supplying the ice bags.
Yeah. There's a couple seconds left on a Duck penalty as we start the third. Taves back to Oduya. His long shot is blocked. The Anaheim penalty over now, and both teams at full strength. Now the Ducks roll that in Maroon. A wrist shot way wide, held in Kessler. Palmieri to Maroon in the behind. Kessler driving the net. The pass missed him. It goes to Moshman, who shoots, and he fired it wide. Lindholm rolled it deep. Roosevelt there. Bothered by Maroon, however. And these magnetic boards really working well. But you're not going to get a whistle. That's not the way it works anymore. When Eddie played, you could tie it up this long. The whistle would go and play would stop. But the officials are instructed now to make them keep going at it, keep the clock moving, and eventually the puck gets back into Ducks territory.
Yeah, I'm sure Supervisor Rob Schick will be all over the officials for blowing the whistle a little
They would get a
prematurely.
serious demerit for stopping the play right there.
Like a 3-iron.
Right in the forehead. Here's a shot by Getzlaf and a good save by Crawford short side.
Hey, Pat, I met a Chicagoan yesterday over at Enterprise Rental Car, the official rental car of the National Hockey League, by the way. And Drew McCaffrey now moved out here and wanted me to send a big shout out to everybody at the Side Street Saloon in Chicago, and especially Mike and John Zick and Zach and Maria Krug. So hello from Drew out here in Anaheim. Yes, I rented a car yesterday and got the car back safely.
Thought you were going to say the official car rental company of Team Olchek.
Well, if it had a horse's head and a tail, that's probably the way of transportation. Not that the lovely and talented Diana Olchek got to school that way maybe back in the day, but just kidding. Just kidding.
Good thing you're going to be on the road for a while.
Yeah, well, considering that snowstorm that's coming in tomorrow night, I might not be home for a couple of weeks.
Here comes Nordstrom with a chip and chase. He and Stoner in a big collision, and Nordstrom got the better of that exchange.
This line's had a good night, Pat. Smith, Kruger, and Nordstrom, and a lot of the time that they played here tonight have been against the big line, the Getzlaf and Perry combination.
This is going to be icing Anaheim.
Well, the Blackhawks told you their goals. Now let's hear yours. Share your goal on social media using the hashtag #What'sYourGoal. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com to see other fans' goals and learn more.
Getzlaf kicked it back. Stoner goes off the glass. That stays in. Sharp. Back to Keith. Then Rundblad. Here's Sharp. Comes off the boards against Getzlaf. Gets right to the middle. Dropped it. Rundblad shot it. Tipped. The redirect went just wide. And Sharp has it again. Here's Rundblad. Kane for Rundblad, who had been taken down. In behind is Ryan Getzlaf. He floats it to Corey Perry.
Too many men.
Rink wide. Oh, close to too many men. Smith Pelly, though, able to get it in. That was very close. You might have seen the Anaheim player who was coming on for a change jump back quickly to get over the boards, and I think he got back off the ice before the puck touched the stick of Smith Pelly. Meanwhile, here's Shaw. His shot went up high. Roosevelt kept it in. Shaw in the corner. Knocked down by Lovejoy. And Bolesky cleared to center ice. Matt Bolesky, by the way, leading the Ducks. He's got 19 goals. Having a great year. Their top goal scorer, Matt Bolesky, and he also one of those guys we mentioned earlier with over 100 hits for Anaheim. They're getting things done lots of different ways for Bruce Boudreau's team. Bolesky's got it here as long wrister deflected wide. Bickle unable to advance it. Osavall fired it ahead to Hossa.
Good pick up there. That puck was fired around hard, and Hossa doesn't get it, Pat. It's an icing call. That's a heck of a play. Another small, subtle, little play by an unbelievable two-way player.
Odd shot handled here by Anderson.
Cogliano looked like he caught up a stick, caught the stick of Duncan Keith as he was trying to make a play. But to go back to that play we talked about, Pat, for the too many men on the ice for the Ducks, was right in front of their bench, but clearly from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator, I mean, you got 6 guys on the ice, and usually when the puck heads up in that direction, and you see that real quickly, you see the player jump back off. But might have to have the conversation with Rob Schick, the supervisor, and ask him exactly maybe what he might have called back in the day. I guess if he was paying attention.
All right, now the Ducks, the rink wide is tipped. Another good stick there from Haas, who put it out of the zone. Back in comes Saad. Brandon Saad wanted Hossa with the pass, hit a skate. Saad a whack and a save by Anderson. Rebound just out of the reach of Taves, who wanted a whistle but didn't get it. And Perry to the other end. A wrister soaked up by Corey Crawford.
Well, an opportunity. Brandon Saad with the shot, the rebound by Anderson, and there's Jonathan Taves just a step slow, maybe to redirect that puck, and he was looking for it. It just popped past his stick. He was in a little bit too tight to the Anaheim goaltender. I think Brandon Saad's had a whale of a game here tonight, Pat. I mean, the puck has found him in the offensive zone, and very just a very powerful game from Brandon Saad in a lot of different areas of the offensive part of the game.
Who, Eddie, in 45 minutes of play, has 7 shots on goal already. And now here's a chance for Palmieri, his wrister, who's hoping for a tip from Kessler, didn't get it. Now Ryan Kessler. Let his pass deflect. Kane rolled it ahead. It stays in. Long shot. Vatanen off the mark, and Nordstrom bounce it out to center. That's a hand pass, gloved from one teammate to another in the center ice area, and a whistle.
Well, the new and expanded Blackhawk stores are open at 333 North Michigan Avenue and at the Oak Brook Center Mall. Check out the Blackhawk store calendar of events at chicagoblackhawks.com for info on special store offers, appearances, and more.
Don't forget the Hawks are in San Jose tomorrow night. As icing is whistled here, so the Hawks against the Sharks. Tomorrow night, that's a 9:30 start time in Chicago.
And they come off that win last night against these same Ducks. Todd McClellan, one of the top coaches in the National Hockey League, has got the Sharks on a bit of a roll here, and they beat the Ducks pretty handily last night. Got a little help with a bounce here or there, but you put up 6 against this team, a confident team right now in San Jose. They just got to get consistent goaltending in San Jose. I mean, that's been a battle all season long. As we know, Pat, if you don't have it, that being goaltending, you got no shot to win.
Right now, Boschman. Moved it ahead. Raquel taken down by Bickle, but we play on as the Ducks get it in there. Captain Bolesky, a long wrist shot off the side of the net. Bouncing puck came right through the goal mouth to Bickle with a hoister to clear.
Nice play. Good play by Bickle. Make sure that puck gets out of the zone.
Well, the Ducks had it, turned it over. Bickle centered it. Here's a shot. Teravainen. Good save by Anderson. And a poor Anaheim turnover leads to a good Blackhawks chance from Teuvo Teravainen. But the Hawks lead still is 3.
Welcome back. There's Brian Bickle. What a shift. He gets his puck out of the zone, most importantly. He gets there and he shoots the puck in. Now, what ends up happening? His job is not done. The Hawks are in on the forecheck. Bickle will come in. He'll make the big hit along the boards, right below the goal line. Perfect. And then the puck's going to find him. There's Bickle. And the puck's going to come to him, and then he's going to pass the puck out to Teravainen, and the Hawks get a chance. That's a great shift, Pat. I mean, that's the type of stuff that you know that Brian Bickle can give you each and every night. I mean, that's as good as a shift you can have in a game. I mean, yeah, you like to see the puck end up in the back of the net. It would have been an A++ shift if Teravainen would have scored, because then he gets an assist on it. But all around, just an outstanding job there from Big Bick.
Who's got 10 points in his last 12 games with the rather regular contact he's been providing in terms of the physicality for the Blackhawks. He forced a turnover here. Oh, and then Shaw took a man down. Penalty, Chicago. So this is a very important sequence in the game. After 3 straight Anaheim penalties, the Hawks take one, and I don't know if it's must convert, but it's close to that for Bruce Boudreau's team here.
There you see the stick of Andrew Shaw, no doubt about it, caught up in the wardrobe of Sami Vatanen. I'd agree with you, Pat. This is a huge power play for the home team.
Kruger won the draw, and the Hawks will get it out as a result. Here's Smith with a steal. He stripped Fowler. And Smith. Finally, it escapes him, and now the Ducks come away. Vatanen heading up the ice. Cleared it in. Maroon couldn't get rid of an attempt. And Keith. Nice move, eluding a check. Oh, great move, Duncan Keith. He made Corey Perry look like a turnstile. He walked right through him. Back comes Getzlaf into the zone. Centered it. Maroon couldn't pull the trigger. Stole it away. Hjalmarsson one-hands it out of the zone. Good play. Nick Hjalmarsson.
Boy, what a massive collision there at the blue line, Pat. Hopefully we'll get a chance to look at it. Duncan Keith and Marian Hossa. I mean, that was really a nasty fall at the blue line.
And now a minute remains on the Anaheim man advantage. Boschman with a dump. Held in Lindholm. He's pressured, and Smith able to jam it loose. Hawks clear, and they'll change him up again. So the third rotation on this PK, which still has over half a minute to go. Palmieri got turned around by Hjalmarsson. It's jammed loose by the Ducks. They get it in front. Palmieri taken down as he tried to shoot. Penalty, Chicago. Hjalmarsson really unhappy about it. But now a 2-man Anaheim advantage for 25. So Hjalmarsson for a trip on the play.
We go back to that play, Pat, by Duncan Keith. There he goes, walks around, right around Corey Perry. He's able to make that play. And then right after that, as the Hawks were able to clear this puck, Duncan Keith loses his edge, Pat, as he's coming up the ice and upends Marian Hossa. Watch a dangerous fall in behind at the Blackhawk blue line. Keith's down, and here comes Hossa. I mean, right over. Dangerous play, 5-on-3 here for the Ducks.
And they win the draw. Vatanen taking a look. They get Perry front of the net. Getzlaf taking a look. Dropped it back. Vatanen goes across. Kessler sends it down low. There's Corey Perry with Maroon on the doorstep. It's taken back by Kessler to Vatanen. They're on the perimeter still, the Ducks. Getzlaf put it back. Kessler fakes, got a man down. Shot it. Missed the net. Rebound. Taken back by the Ducks. First Hawks penalty over just out of the box. Shaw steal. Oh, what a save by Crawford. The Ducks got a point-blank chance. Crawford beat him. So they still have a 1-man advantage, Anaheim. Ryan Getzlaf with Perry heading into the middle. Here's Kessler to Getzlaf. Centered it. Good stick by Oduya. Tipped it loose to Shaw. He could Only get as far as center. Vatanen the other way. Then Perry. Corey Perry into the corner. Kessler rings it around. Raquel put it in deep. Now Kessler, checked by Rosabal. He kicked it loose. Toews, checked by Perry. Ducks able to get the puck back, but the feed deflecting back out to center ice. Here's Perry, and listen to the crowd. Let's go Blackhawks, a rather loud chant here in Anaheim. Here's a chance for Perry, walks in, fake centered, and Raquel, he scores! Raquel, a great setup by Corey Perry, who faked the shot, drew Crawford out of the net, slipped it goal mouth, and the Ducks on the board.
Well, the Hawks not able to get the puck all the way down. Marian Hossa turns the puck over to the eventual goal scorer. Corey Perry doesn't shoot it. Great recovery there from Raquel. Off his skate, back to his stick. It goes short side high on Corey Crawford. And it's a 3-1 game.
Now a steal to Sharp. He looks to drive, and his stick tied up. Nice play, Lovejoy preventing an attempt. Kane. Got help from Sharp. Patrick Sharp leaves for Brad Richards in behind. He centered it, picked off Fowler, held in Rundblad. Kane to Keith. Rundblad's long wrister, blocker save by Anderson. Rebound to the neutral zone. Hawks will get it in, or at least attempt to. That sails up over the glass, out of play, just past the halfway point of period 3. The Ducks have scored and now trail by 2.
Can't win it if you don't enter. So register today at ChevyDrives.Chicago.com. Take your best shot and drive what Kane and Toews drive. Special hello to everybody at Jack Phelan Chevrolet. John and JC.
Scoring addition on the Ducks goal and a second assist and on 19 Patrick Maroon. So it's scored officially this
Now Hampus Lindholm
goal by Raquel.
wants it along the boards. And the Ducks Silverberg unable to get any further than center. Finally they dump it. Oduya up the boards. Bickle able to get it out. Here comes Teravainen. He waits for a little help. He's going to drop it back. Shaw, the shot. He missed the net. Might have been tipped by a diving Raquel. And the puck held in by Bickle. But then it escapes the zone, and Cogliano the other way. Battles into the corner. Good turnaround sweep check by Nick Hjalmarsson. Held in Kessler. His wrister deflects up off the glass. And Teravainen got it out of there. Vatanen forced to turn. Stolen by Toews. He drives 2-on-1. Toews for a shot and a save by Anderson. Rebound to the Ducks. They got it 3-on-2 the other way. Maroon going wide. Palmieri to the net. The rink wide. Good stick, Hjalmarsson. He broke up the feed.
That shot by Jonathan Toews was not very hard. He was shooting for a pass, for a rebound. He was shooting off the far pad, trying to bank it to Patrick Kane, who was coming down those left wing boards.
Now Saad coming out. Toews threw it in there. Hawks changing. Ben Lovejoy. Now Ryan Getzlaf. He gets the line. Getzlaf. The shot. Good block. Oduya. And in behind, it's captured by Ben Smith. To Kruger. A bank pass finds Nordstrom. He got it deep. Yes. 7 minutes remaining in regulation time. A 3-1 Chicago lead. As Oduya takes over. And Sharp, who's assisted on all 3 Hawks goals, had a shot block. Smith Pelly lost in a Sharp centering take, and a shot to goal by Patrick Kane. The 3rd point for Kane, the 4th point for Sharp, and the Hawks back up by 3.
Well, a turnover along the boards. Patrick Sharp wins the battle. Looks like the Ducks are going to get the puck out of the zone from our Honda goal replay, and Patrick Kane, all he does is lift up his stick and says, Patrick Sharp, just put it on my tape. And Patrick Kane opens up that stick blade. No chance for Anderson. As you mentioned, Pat, the 4th assist of the night for Patrick Sharp. And Patrick Kane standing all by himself in front of the net, and that's a huge goal with the push the last 6-7 minutes by the Ducks.
So Kane, 2 goals tonight, 25 for the year. He's got an assist as well. So now the Ducks look to keep it in. Raquel centered it. It's whiffed on by Bolesky. Back comes Kane leading the charge. Richards to the net. Kane hangs on to Sharp. Back for Kane. The pass tipped away by the defending Raquel. Richards threw it in front. Picked up by Rundblad. His long one well wide. And the Ducks able to get it out. Both teams changing here as Keith starts back. Smith Pelly dumped it. Now Rundblad rolled it loose. Teravainen sending Shaw out of the zone. Andrew Shaw for Duncan Keith, whose pass didn't get to Bickle.
I don't think we've seen Marian Hossa since that collision with Duncan Keith. The Hawks still have the same number of extra skaters on the ice right now. I don't believe that they're short anybody. I do believe I see Hossa, but I don't think we've seen him since that collision with Duncan Keith.
It could also be, and hopefully this is all it is, maybe Coach Q said, hey, back to the game tomorrow. Here comes Hossa over the boards, just as we start talking about that, and the puck finds him. Hossa put it in behind Shaw. Left it Hossa. Marian Hossa moved in front on his backhand, shoots. That hit a skate, deflecting to Shaw. His pass picked off Smith Pelly, sends it the other way, going to be icing Anaheim. Take a look at our Ford upcoming schedule, and a shout out to our good friend John Crane and my buddies at Hawk Ford, Jimmy Heisinger and John Weaver. Here's the Hawks at San Jose tomorrow. The 9:30 puck drop for that game will be in Minnesota on Tuesday for Hawks Wild get together, and then the Hawks playing a divisional team they haven't beaten yet, the Winnipeg Jets. Play host to the Blackhawks next Friday from Manitoba. So Bruce Boudreau will utilize his one timeout here. The tired group that just iced the puck. Well, the Anaheim Ducks, who we've mentioned came into the game with the best record of the NHL, in danger of losing for just the 12th time in 50 starts. And the Blackhawks have really, their record has not been as consistent of late, probably the last month or so, as they have become accustomed to, but looking to string together a nice run here. Remember, the last long road trip the Hawks had was spectacular, the Thanksgiving trip. They had only one loss, and losing the game the other night to start this sequence in LA. Followed up by a very, very solid outing here in Anaheim tonight.
Penalty kill, Pat, something we talked about in the open tonight. Penalty kill early in the game led to a goal right after that, and then the 5-on-3 opportunity for the Ducks, weren't able to capitalize.
Well, Palmieri trying to fight his way ahead. It's jammed loose. Back of the goal, the Ducks take over. Maroon's pass picked right out of midair by Hossa. Now Patrick Maroon. Left it. Palmieri lost it. Hossa able to get back to center. Turdy tree to go in a turd. 4-1 in favor of the Hawks. 2 goals for Kane. Jonathan Toews a single, and Duncan Keith scoring to achieve his 400th NHL point. The only Anaheim tally from Raquel on a power play. Stoner's long one fought off by Crawford. Good save in traffic by the Crow that time. And now Perry's in deep. Perry trying to drag it out in front. Good stick there from Keith to strip him. And clear to center. Now it's Seabrook. Putting it into Anaheim ice. Sammy Vatanen cleared it to Silverberg. He put it in behind. Raquel looking to shield on Roosevelt. His centering attempt deflected back into the corner.
Crawford knocked that one out of midair.
And Roosevelt will put it in behind the Anaheim goal. Down to 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Here's Sharp. Pass went off a skate. Lovejoy will hoist it back into Chicago ice. And here's Oduya taking his time. No need to hurry here. Time favoring the Blackhawks.
Looking for somebody to come out and give him an opening here. This should be goaltender came out and played it, so no icing there. Oduya was looking for somebody to come back there and give him an outlet. All the forwards are out near the blue line, and Johnny Oduya was not a happy camper going back to that Blackhawk bench, and assistant coach Mike Kitchen did some talking there.
So now Rundblad. Missed Teravainen. Final minute of the game. And the Ducks, who had won 6 straight games, lost last night in San Jose, lose at home tonight to the Hawks. As Anderson stays in the net with 40 seconds to go. Bickle gets a little help to clear it out of there. Kane trying to walk in. Now buys some time. Chipped it to Shaw. Shaw wants Kane. But the Stoner in the way of that. Put it back into the Blackhawks. And no icing here. Good job, linesman. 15 seconds to go. Though a number of Blackhawk fans who remain, and they are well populated throughout the Honda Center here. The clock winds down. Hawks win. The Chicago Blackhawks pick up a 4-1 victory in Anaheim tonight. It's their 31st of the year. 31-16-2 for the Blackhawks, and a huge night for the guy you just saw, Patrick Sharp, with a 4-assist game. Corey Crawford picks up his 19th win. And the Hawks with a decisive victory over the league-leading Anaheim Ducks tonight.